everyone, it's Morphin Mania time. I'm Captain Logan. This is the Jeff. And my regular co-host, DJ, who is losing his voice, so he's trying not to talk too much. Look at him.
Check behind the couch.
He's just not gonna say all that much. Oh, really? You're just gonna speak like in made-up sign language? That's your whole plan? Okay, you got and friends references. All right. DJ, I know you're losing your voice, but you got to occasionally say something because you know things about Zeo, and Jeff does not. I don't want to fly off all by myself. We are starting Power Rangers Zeo today. We are past Mighty Morphin, and this as a kid was my favorite. Now, I know I'm liable to set myself up for disappointment because it's been a while since I've watched through this whole show. I have occasionally gone back and looked at an episode here or there. And I will admit, and even have this as a kid, that these are some of the weakest villains in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of the Machine Empire. I don't love the whole Mondo and his wife and his kid thing. And some of the attempt at regal politics is kind of fun for this show, but other than that, it's not great. I don't love it, and I kind of hate what we do with Zed. But I love these suits, and I love this theme song, and I love the power chamber, and I am excited about running through the show in order. This is when I was watching religiously. I as a kid definitely watched every episode of this show as it was on. So anyway. We're gonna DJ. I think I'm losing my voice as well. I think
it's been a long night.
Command center exploding. I don't know why he's doing that. The command center exploding ruined my voice. Apparently,
my plan is working beautifully.
I mean, if you want to just talk about this by yourself, by all means, man. I guess we'll just make up sign language. We'll just do Aquatarian sign language this whole time with the reverse bird and the whatever that whole thing was. And yeah. Anyway, all right. It looks like we're doing gang signs every time we're trying to do the Aquatarian Rangers, but that's because they had 19 different things they did with their hands. Yeah, that whole thing, which I never figured out how to do. Do it again, DJ. Yeah, I'm just not even going to bother anymore.
I don't know if that's right, but
this is also going to have. This show also has amusing hand gestures because it is maybe the most complicated morph.
Oh, really? So I'm not as familiar with this as you are. So this is going to be interesting.
Okay. He's so I don't have to talk. Deal with it.
I haven't seen all the way through this. I've seen a lot of it.
Really? Do you know how this ends? Because it's hilarious.
You mean how it sets off into turbo?
I just mean what happens in the last episode.
I don't recall right at the moment.
Just wait till we get there. It's funny.
Okay.
It is like Mighty Morphin in that it is kind of half-assed. I'll just say that. All right. Anyway, if you are watching with us, click on the link in the Rabbit Room in the description, and that'll let you see exactly what we're seeing as we're seeing it. If you're watching after the fact and you want to watch on Netflix, this is, of course, its own series, so you'll want to type in Power Rangers Zeo and pull up the first episode of the show. It's a Zeo Beginning, Part 1, aptly titled. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
Oh, one of the best songs.
Yep. It's great. And now, this is a Wasserman song, yeah?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like him. And so if he wrote it, I'm pretty sure he got someone else to sing it because it doesn't sound like him.
Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. It sounds similar.
It's the same tune.
Yeah, I like how they repurposed the original.
Yeah, it's just a fun variation on it.
Which is so much cooler than how they do it now, where it's just they just shove Go-Go Power Rangers into all the current songs.
Yeah, no, it's obnoxious.
Go-Go Power Rangers.
I don't know why he's doing that either.
If I like a lot of the other songs, but if they had found a way to do this every time, where it was just a slight variation, that would have been cool too.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Wow.
It would have been hard to keep up.
What point?
Game controller.
I'm lost. At what point were you making doing that?
I've already forgotten
that melody. I just couldn't figure out what point you were making. Okay, so now we have a voiceover to make this scene more dramatic.
Previously,
Douglas Sloan script.
Galaxy far, far away.
We're getting a previously.
Yeah, except inside the episode, we're doing a recap Because and that's fair because it is a new show. Although I wouldn't have done this in the episode, I would have done it maybe before it. And I wouldn't because like I said, I think they want you to forget everything that happened because it's not going to match up, even though they just showed it all to us.
I know you haven't finished. Everything. You haven't finished Legion yet, I don't think. But
I haven't.
Later on, they do previouslys, but they say different things because that show's so weird and bizarre. They say like apparently on Legion and like stuff like that. It's really fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, because that show's all about perception.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that. I haven't watched the pilot.
I highly recommend finishing the first season,
which blew my mind. It's a brilliant pilot.
The first season, especially you, because I know we share a love for an interest in like mental illness and that kind of thing.
Yes.
The first season is great.
Yeah, I latched onto that real hard, of course.
Yeah.
And I've always been fascinated by like dissociative identity disorder and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's great.
But I'm not. But I am.
Or are we kind of retconning things here? Because
I'd say it's more like ratconning.
Okay, because Rito and Goldar very clearly beamed out with the crystal, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, but then they pretended like that was like some of that was footage we've seen already, but it's not. So they beamed out holding the crystal, right? But then they just showed us footage where it's still there because it's going to be buried and they're going to find it in the rubble. Why would Zeo and Goldar have beamed out like they did if they didn't have? I mean, I guess to not die, but they had it. Like they retconned that.
And why would they go in the command center at all if they weren't going to take anything?
Blow it up. Are you trying to take over the command center or blow it up?
That's true. That is a big question. So then they win, and then immediately, conveniently, for no good reason, more powerful bad guys show up. Just all of a sudden.
So what happened to Hydra Hog? Did he just get bored and leave?
He just left.
What happened to the Aquitian Rangers?
They just left.
What is happening?
Okay.
We didn't get them back.
This show is really struggling with, are we a new series or not? Okay. Like, they want to get past that stuff real fast. So they can be like, we're a new show now. Yeah. I mean, they dance a lot. Oh, that's a shaking the camera. You got to count that.
Oh, let's do it.
There are two kinds of people in the universe. Those who dance and those who do not.
Actually, that's not true. Every villain in this universe dances. Okay, they all do that. They're everybody's silly. Everybody dances.
That shaky cam one is the hardest one to keep track of because I'm sure we've missed a bunch.
We have to have missed some.
So yeah. I missed what? Why does she think they're in trouble?
Because the other bad guys are coming.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. It's just the camera shook, and you're not supposed to know. It's supposed to be
okay.
It's supposed to be suspenseful.
I just didn't want to miss something that I was responsible for knowing.
No, you didn't. But it's hard to know with this show because it's it doesn't communicate things well a lot of the time anyway. So.
Well, at least she said that's impossible that it's there.
Okay, but they're not going to explain how. Like, but they say that about things that are possible a lot. Like.
Well, with the great power, all things are possible.
Oh,
as Tommy tells us.
So, did the universe just coalesce to their will again? Is that the explanation?
Or are they just that bumbling that they didn't even notice they dropped it?
They didn't drop it. They just left it on the table. They had it, and then they left, and then it was on a table.
So these
That's
things.
What I saw.
Do you remember what these ship things are called?
Oh yeah, Babu doesn't look like Squat doesn't look like he's a bobblehead. I'm sorry. What, DJ?
Do you remember what these Machine Empire ship things are called?
I don't anymore.
Shooting. They look very Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah, they're called something. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, cinematographic. Wow. I would not call Zeo a spinoff because it's the same cast and it's the same production.
It's an evil chess rook.
That's exactly what he is. Yeah.
I mean, that makes this other guy the bishop.
Well, no, that's his wife.
Okay, this other girl, the bishop.
No, she's the queen.
Oh.
Because she's the queen. That's King Mondo, and she's Queen Machina. And then they have a kid.
So
who also looks like a rook, but like a tiny rook.
They are really cool costumes. You don't like them like story wise, or you just don't like them at all?
I don't think they're any
Party's
fun.
over.
Yeah, they're not any fun. The suits are kind of cool though with the whole rotating mechanisms and everything.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything for me. Like,
Yeah, well, I'm not a robot guy.
it's a neat design,
so I don't get excited about robots.
and I'm not generally either. It depends on what it is.
You're just hoping you don't become a robot.
That shot. Yikes. So yeah, we just contrived a way to get this show going really fast. And when we did, I mean, I'm not saying I want exactly the opening from the last season, you know, obviously past the Best Writer stuff, but like maybe a couple episodes of them going to. It would have been nice if they just if they did an opening before the machine showed up, where they had to go back somehow and get the crystal from Zed and Rita and have one last big showdown. That's what I would have done. I like the for sale sign earlier. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that's really funny. So Jeff, I'm not kidding. We are not writing Zed and Rita out of the show. They're just gonna become more comic relief. We have like through the season, like 3 sets of sitcom subplots going on.
Wow.
Or at least 2. And 3 sets of characters anyway. And they're gonna spend the whole time driving around on the moon in a Winnebago. That's this season.
So they're going to become the new Lenny and Squiggy. What happens to the old Lenny and Squiggy?
They're still there.
They become like one level even farther down than they already were.
No, it's more like Zed and Rita do, because they're not even in every episode. We don't see them a lot. But when we do, we just play them for comic relief. But yeah, it's just another bumbling Bulk and Skull type thing, except with the villains. But Bulk and Skull remain there a lot. And
harsh life being a Power Rangers villain.
Like I mentioned earlier, this season they're gonna do the private detective thing.
So they do a good job for the show of like hyping this villain up. Like our villains are so terrified of it that they're leaving immediately, but they don't live up to this at all, because they'll immediately just become the Zed and Rita of this season.
On conclusion.
Again, Cinematographic, I wouldn't call it a spinoff in any way. Now you're saying semi-spinoff. No, it's just rebranding. Like, it's the same show. We just changed a couple of things about it. We changed the name of it slightly, and we're just moving forward. And then now it's going to be the same show every season with a different title and eventually a different cast. And then eventually it will be a different show every season. It would almost be easier to call some of those spinoffs than the same show, but like Mighty Morphin Era, I think of as one show that just keeps getting rebranded until you get to the season after Lost Galaxy, where it doesn't even look related to Mighty Morphin at all. Like it then becomes completely different shows every season.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you have the same cast minus like one where we've changed it, like you can't call it a spinoff in any way.
I'm thinking of it as MBSS.
I don't know.
More
what that means.
bull, same stuff.
Yep.
Oh. We sucked very gradually into the earth. Oh, now it's moving faster.
So
doesn't this lead to
Hell or China?
or Ninja's cave?
Well, that wasn't underground.
Wasn't that?
No, I don't think so.
I always felt like
Was it DJ?
underground.
Was it underground? I thought it was just a temple.
they went in like a cave and then went through a wall. And on the other side of the cave was his like little garden place.
Oh, okay. I forgot they went in the cave.
But it wasn't. I don't
think it was underground though.
No, it was just
I think it was an above ground cave.
A cave is kind of, by definition, under some kind of ground.
The way I looked, it looked like it was just like the side of a mountain or something. They just walked in and it was cave-like. Like I don't know if that's that's subterranean necessarily. I mean, I'm quibbling certainly, but I have time to quibble. Okay, nothing's happening.
Are there lots of bottles, or are there a bunch of bottles?
Yeah, we okay. So we treat this like this big giant mystery. Look, you guys, you found the crystal, and then you found a corridor that looks slightly different from the last command center. There's no mystery here. Like, you guys are not going to be surprised when you find Zordon. It's not. It'd be really cool if it was something else, but it's not gonna be. We're just wasting time.
Do they find the power chamber though?
Like raccoons now.
Yeah, DJ, they will find the power chamber, and they find it by walking through a wall that looks like a portal to another dimension or something.
So, what is the explanation for that? Have Zordon and Alpha been building it? Like,
Well, the explanation is the crystal just did it.
Oh, they have amnesia.
It just made it? The whole power chamber?
Yeah. Yeah, it just recreates that building, and then the power chamber's there.
So the crystal...
I think. I might be wrong about that. Zordon might have another explanation. We'll find out. But yes, they have amnesia. And then they will be our third set of comic relief characters. Now, they already were that, of course, but now they're going to do it kind of domestically, because they're going to be Vulcan Skull slaves through most of the season. Yep. And they just make them, like, clean all the time.
So then this one becomes the new Bulk, and the other one, I assume, becomes the new Skull.
I don't get it.
Got 3 sets of Bulks and Skulls.
I like how Skullhead's helmet has a skull on the back of it.
Is that a helmet, or is that just his head? I
mean, it looks like a helmet.
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes
we have this question
to me, and sometimes
a lot.
The other.
No, we had that with Goldar all the time too. It's like, was he born like that, or is that armor? No, I still say it looks like armor. But
speaking of Dumb and Dumber.
Wow, they will have this all the way to the Turbo movie. This
I forgot about that. Yeah, they drive around in this thing all the time.
eBay.
Not yet, Jeff. We're about two years out still.
Craigslist.
It's going to be a while before there's even a mention in Power Rangers of the internet.
Yeah, we're at 96 right now?
Yes. Rockman, that's great. He says Superman rebuilt it with telekinesis. Like in Superman 2 with the telekinesis beams. Or no, Superman 4 when he just oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Isn't that the one where he fights Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy?
Nope. That's a different form.
Wow.
I like when they turn into the tripods from War of the Worlds. Big War of the Worlds fan.
Mm-hmm.
But then they fly most of the time.
Too bad these guys weren't smart enough to think of giving them a cold.
You know how on the moon there's like gravity and you can breathe?
Yeah.
Which is part of why it's fun they just drive around in a Winnebago. Because it should just be floating, but it's not.
Well, the moon has gravity. It
just doesn't have that much gravity.
What, 16% as much as Earth does?
But like, if you had a Winnebago on the moon, like, I guess if it was heavy enough, it wouldn't lift. But like, could you drive? I guess you could drive it around.
Yeah. No.
How different would the physics of that be? Like,
would they be exactly the same? Except, like, if you had the same strength as you have on Earth, you would be able to lift more things.
Okay, so you
wouldn't need as big a ramp to get air.
If you were strong enough, you could maybe pick up like the back of a car or something.
Yeah.
Lifting up the car. That's come up more than...
You can jump a lot higher.
See, like, I was really duped by this when I was a kid, especially because of those shorts over the summer where they were acting like there was a lot of like mystery and mystique to this whole thing. And there's just not. It's just, it's going to look different. Now, I guess the show's always been about those kinds of aesthetics. Like, should I be surprised by that when, like, the biggest, like, dramatic arc for a character so far has been, I don't have my powers. Yeah, I have my powers. I don't have my powers. Yeah, I have my powers. White. Like, you do get to see him. I forgot Master Bile comes back for a minute. There's Master Bile. We love him.
He's got a burrito head.
He's got a burrito head. And he has glasses. It's hilarious. He does have a lame staff. That is the one thing I don't like about Master Bile. But he has, like, snakes that move around. I'll see him right now, but... Ha! Get it. Skeleton Cube.
skeleton key.
So they're gonna go try to live with Master Vile, but they can't get off the moon, so they don't end up doing that. I almost would rather have that sitcom, DJ, where they go live at Master Vile's house, and we keep cutting to like them at Master Vile's house.
Yeah, and it's just like a 3-camera setup, and they're just
Oh, that would be the best, man. And like,
hi, honey, I'm home.
They complain because he doesn't have enough cable channels, and we saw him at his house, or was it in his ship? I can't remember.
When are you gonna get over that meathead?
Or they could just, well, yeah, and he's always complaining that Zed sucks, and no, it writes itself.
That's
wow,
the spin-off
that
we
looks
need.
off. Did you see that those CD-ROM effects with that door opening? It looked like the Power Ranger video game. It looked like the point-and-click Power Ranger video game that never happened.
And this was years before Adobe Flash.
So he's like, oh no, what's going to happen? Well, I don't know, I just feel like it's pretty obvious that you're not looking at anything sinister right now. Acting from Cardenas.
This is the preview to the Bermuda Triangle.
Even when Cardenas doesn't say anything, I can't help but kind of laugh at him. I feel bad. I feel bad about it.
You're really going in on.
I know. I got stop doing them. But I probably won't be able to help myself.
I think he's a fine Blue Ranger in this season. I don't know. He's all right.
Well, it's not like his acting has improved or anything.
But he's less in the limelight.
Cardenas, I'm sorry. I love you. You're great. You're great at what you're actually good at. You're just not an actor. I'm sorry, Cardenas.
How that sound effect?
You really can't tell how good an actor somebody is until you've seen them with a decent script.
You've not watched enough Cardenas to say that, buddy. There is a difference between him and everybody else in the show. You'll notice these places, surprisingly not here. Nope, he's still doing it. Where everyone else is looking in one direction and he just looks everywhere. Anyway, I'm going to stop going in on Cardenas. But yeah, I like the set a lot. I think it's great.
Okay, so there were plans. So they made it without telling them.
Just like the White Ranger.
Come on, Zordon.
Yeah, but there wasn't any time that passed, so like the crystal still had to have made it.
Well, I think it was there, but
Alphas
the crystal just rebuilt what was there already.
as a version of
No, they said there were plans. That's all he said.
Well, he said he had seen the plans, but he didn't know it was actually a real thing. I don't know.
No, he's going to explain it to you. Oh, I guess it has already. Okay, you win. Okay, well, I guess that's an explanation as to partly why that building was so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, what other things are they keeping?
9 of these.
Yeah, what other secrets are they keeping from the Raiders? Is there a zoo in there?
There's an Alpha 6 through 19.
Oh, we'll see.
Like the alternate control room of the TARDIS that he used for.
Dude, when we get to Alpha 6, like, I know we're not watching all of Turbo, but we also have to deal with him in space. Like, when we get to Alpha 6, it will be a little bit difficult for me not to just finally call it a day. Like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I gotta listen to Alpha 6 all the time. He has just the most obnoxious voice.
He mellows out in space. He's not like doing all the weird stuff.
That's true. He isn't quite as bad there.
We have more viewers now. Yes, we got some Zeo fans.
Cool. Hi, Zeo fans. I like Zeo. We've been wondering if more people might pop in when we finally get past Mighty Morphin and some of the Mighty Morphin era stuff.
Yeah.
Because there are big fans of particular seasons that don't care about the rest of Power Rangers.
Yeah, if you're here, post your favorite season in the comments. I'm interested in that. I
expect to see some when we get to Dino Thunder, some folks that are just big Dino Thunder people. But yeah, that was real padded. Like that had pilotitis to the max, right? Like we got new villains and we got a new power chamber and we just like walked around a lot while we wondered it's always been here. And we like to do that in Power Rangers a lot, where we pretend like there might be danger and then we completely deflate it by saying there was never, you were never in peril at all. And as a consolation prize for your boring walking around, here's a cool new thing. We do that all the time.
But no, this is strange because this is very anti-Power Rangers, and usually the first episode is so crammed and rushed and this one was completely decompressed. Too much, like as a fault. Like we've been talking about why don't they spread out the origins a little bit instead of like getting all of their suits and weapons and everything shown off in the first episode. But here, it's to the other extreme.
Yeah, it really is. And it's like we've already had to spend 8 episodes watching them as children, not morphing. And like, yeah, we at least we got some Power Rangers in those, but you know, there was a lot less actual Power Ranger action in those episodes than I remembered.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it because those suits stood out to me so much. So I remember like the specific fights, but there wasn't that many.
It kind of felt like, remember we were talking with Eric about this a few shows ago? It was like the amount of action you get in the Beetleborgs episode. And we saved it till the very end, right? Like it was just like that. Yeah,
and it was all Zord stuff, which is not my favorite stuff. So that's...
Yeah, same here. You know, you're right. They didn't fight on the ground that much.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't get a lot of, yeah, you don't like that because we didn't get to see any like out of costume karate stuff. And
yeah,
we didn't shoot much of the action stuff.
And I doubt those actors could. I don't think we hired them for their martial arts abilities. I think we hired them.
I don't think we did either.
For their ability to wear prosthetics for 4 hours.
And do weird things with their hands.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one guy got hired just because he could put down his middle finger without any of his other ones. Which is
all right, so
impressive nonetheless.
Second episode of Zeo Beginning. Let's see if this gets a little bit better. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now. I'm dogging on the beginning of this hard. I always had issues with the beginning of the show, but it kept my attention because I love the designs. I mean, a lot of it, like with so much with Power Rangers, was the Sentai stuff. I love these suits. This is one of my favorite Megazords. Some of that's nostalgia, but I can't explain it. I just really like this Mega. The different helmets I always thought was a super cool idea.
Mm-hmm. You mean, what do you mean by that?
You don't remember what this Megazord does?
Okay, gotcha.
Each Ranger has a different helmet that they can put on the top of the Megazord, and it gives them different powers. It does different things.
Okay, so that's kind of the precursor to like the orbs that every Megazord will have past like Wild Force.
Well, I guess so. I never thought of it like that. Yeah, but it was really this was the one Megazord I had as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually one of the few things that I don't have anymore. Because I lost some of the pieces to it, so I sold it at a yard sale at one point. But I'd like to get it back again. Not that one, but like one that's complete. Yeah, cool. Not the one that I sold to some kid at a yard sale. But he was excited.
So we should talk about what toys we had of this because I had some too. I had the Megazord. I had the normal size Megazord. There was like a Megazord that was like Ranger sized.
Yeah, they started doing those. Here comes Zordon. Wait, wasn't he already there?
He's got a new tube. No, he wasn't there yet.
Oh, I guess it was just Alpha explaining
now
everything.
He's in the YouTube.
I'm so listening to you, DJ. So I'm sorry. I don't know if they did those Megazords for Mighty Morphin at all.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just had the small Zeo one.
I've had that too.
And I had the Green Ranger, the Gold Ranger, and I think the Blue Ranger was all I had of this show.
The Blue Ranger and the Gold Ranger, I think, were the only ones I had. But more of my bigger stuff came from this show. I had the, I guess just two things. I had the Zeo Megazord and I had Aurek.
Okay.
And I do still have Aurek. But the Aurek toy is weird because you have like
Tanya knows an awful lot about what's going on for someone who just appeared last episode.
And just became the age she is.
Yeah, we're clearly just replaced the actress for this instance. Like we could have just
Yeah, we might as well have just recast
the old actress's lines.
That's exactly right. Well, yeah, but that's everybody except for Billy, sort of. Yeah. But yeah, Aurek is weird. I guess we'll talk about this when we get there. But like, he has a key that opens him. And it's like regular size, but then he can't get any bigger, of course. So then you just pretend like he got bigger because Aurek was like a small thing that you open a key and then he got bigger.
Interesting.
In the show. That's way wise.
So
now we're talking about things where I don't know if DJ knows what I'm talking about. This is unprecedented. And you probably don't remember Aurek.
I don't remember. I remember Wheelman. I remember the wheel guy. I remember the Pyramidas.
Oh, I forgot about the warrior wheel. Yeah. I never had that.
I had him, and he actually folded up into a wheel. It was awesome.
I also always wanted the red battle Zord, what that's called. It's called something. I can't remember.
We'll see soon enough.
But do you remember that? The Red Ranger gets like 2 Zords in this?
Yeah, he's like a full man.
He's a full man. He was like his own Megazord.
Same thing with the dragon, the Red Dragon Zord in season 2.
Now, I will say the Cogs might be my favorite putties. I do like the Cogs a lot.
Yeah, putties are more often bad than good, I'd say.
Yeah, there's not a lot of competition for putties.
I like how there's 2 different levels to his crown that rotate in opposite directions.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And
Yeah,
it's variable speeds.
Like, that actor's got to have a battery pack in his head.
Sparks and everything.
Yeah, and his eyes glow. Like, that's all cool.
Yeah, it's a cool suit. It's just
they just don't have any
And the other guy has a little
charisma
charisma growing out of his shoulder.
yeah, he's got a tumor.
Yeah, that whole thing. That talks. That's Orbis.
I saw there was an episode of Family Guy like that once.
Well, see,
Oh,
like he's not actually part of him.
Oh, yeah.
He's a different character, but he hangs out with him. He's like his parent or something if he was a pirate. But Orbis is the thing that makes the monsters grow. I don't know if you remember that, DJ. But they'll throw Orbis and then he shoots a light, and that's how the monsters grow.
Okay. Now this is interesting to me because I don't remember. It's not that I don't remember. I just never seen a lot of this. So.
Oh, was I right? It really is just called the Red Battle Sword because I called it that, but I was like, I think it has a different name. Our tune here, it says Red Battle Sword. Welcome, good to see you. Yeah, we do have some new folks in the comments while we're looking at Zeo.
Yeah, welcome, Zeo lovers. So, hey, Cap, I have a question.
Are you the man? That's great. I will say,
Monster.
this gets old,
Monster.
but weirdly, this is some of the funnest stuff right at the beginning. Is we're not really getting much accomplished. But like,
Fast motion.
how we just take.
Wow.
If we had any teeth in the villains, we've taken
Remember
it all
this
away.
scene in every episode of Scooby-Doo ever.
Yes, and then we replaced it with villains that are not menacing looking at all and don't have any charisma and kind of rely completely on robot puns. What was your question, DJ?
Just about the series in general. Do you have any connection or interest in Egyptian mythology, or do you just not even associate this with Egyptian? Because it's so ingrained in your head.
I really don't, but part of my nostalgia for the series, part of the reason that I liked it so much when it started, was because it felt so different from what had come before. And I guess as a kid, I always associated Egyptian mythology with mystery, if that makes any sense at all. So like they were trying to play this as like a big mysterious thing. And like we have all the answers, there is no mystery, but through the whole series, like the music has a little bit more of like a mysterious undertone, and I always thought that aesthetic fit really well with the tone they were going for.
I used to be able to walk like an Egyptian.
Did you?
Until I took an arrow to the knee.
And also, this came out around the same time as like Stargate was getting really popular and things like that. And so like I was associating Egyptian mythology with like alien stuff. And that's part of why I liked it and thought it worked too. But no, I was never a big Egyptian mythology fan.
Because it's so interesting. This season, it's like the Zords are clearly Egyptian, and we get a little bit of decoration on the suits, but then the rest of the season, as far as the Rangers go, is like preschool season. Like it's preschool themed. Like a lot of my son's toys have shapes and numbers with like, and that's exactly what this is. It's like number 5 is the star, and number 4 is the square. And
yeah, no, it's weird. It like the theme of this, the themes of the season are Egypt and math, rudimentary
geometry.
math and robots.
It kind of ties together because the Egyptians were responsible for a lot of geometry. So
and they invented robots, didn't they?
Yeah, probably. I mean, like,
how else did they build the pyramids?
We have a pyramid in this that's a spaceship. The problem is, again, that what doesn't work about Gold Ranger and Pyramidas when we get there is that they're also Egyptian themed, but they have nothing to do with the Ranger powers. It's really stupid.
Yeah, well, that's just how we chose to incorporate the Gold Ranger. That's
it doesn't work, and it's the most Egyptian-looking thing in the show. And we start with that, but we say that it's disconnected from another planet.
Well, the Egyptians were from another planet, weren't they? I mean, that's why they had all those weird animal heads.
Why does losing their memory like change their entire personality and like why do they lose their evilness?
It does.
Okay, but does it?
I can't see the difference. I mean,
did you watch them the last 8 episodes? Yeah, like they keep like talking up an evil game, but they're just working for bad guys, right? Like Goldar used to be kind of scary, but he and Lord Zed both got dumbed down, for lack of a better way to put it. Michael McAllister wants to know if we like Power Rangers.
We don't sound like we do.
No, we don't. But if you ever went to my old Star Trek club, you'd also wonder if I like Star Trek much of the time.
Then you'd have to kill the computer.
Yes. Jeffrey says, so Power Rangers are actually Egyptian math robots? No, they're not. The villains are robots.
Yeah, don't mix too many things together.
Power Rangers are Egyptians. The monsters are math.
So this is really disappointing. Because, like, Zed gets in Serpentera, and this could go one of two ways. We could have a 3-pronged war through this season, which is what I wish we did. It would be kind of difficult in mixing the Sentai footage with our Zed and Rita footage, certainly. But that's what I wish we'd done with it. The other thing that could have been happening, and this is what I thought at the time, was Zed and the minions get in, and Rita get in Serpentera, and then they leave, and that's how they write them out of the show. But instead... it's not going to work out because Serpentera always has gas problems and breaks down. And I think I don't know if that's actually how they end up getting stuck on the moon. I can't remember, but they'll get stuck on the moon and then they'll just drive around. And that's what we do with them. And then it's really sad what we do with them at the end, because we play it like they're going to take their base back. It's just wait till we get there and see what happens. It's dumb.
I'll take a bite of
We're seeing Billy give up being a Ranger here.
Yep. He's got to get demoted because the producers don't like his sexual orientation. That is what's going on here. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, but also someone would have had to step down, and it would have to be a male because there's 2 female Rangers.
That's true. It's just but then remember, they had a chance to give him his powers back, and that's a lot of people, including him, think that they were punishing him because they didn't like his sexual orientation in his politics.
Yeah, so Tanya just said I should be the one to step down. You actually know how to use your powers, which is a great point because she's never done it. But 2 of the Rangers are wearing skirts, so you have to do it, Tanya.
Yeah. Sorry, Tanya. You just have to. Those powers are not. I wish they had said that at some point, where like the powers are gender oriented, where like you have to be a girl to use the yellow or the pink powers, and you have to be a boy to use the other powers. It's just set up that way.
A straight one.
But it's not though, because the alien Rangers
to the producers, yes. I mean, the character's not homosexual.
How would you tell?
Because he's gonna get together with a girl later. So the way we write him out is he goes and lives on Aquitar and gets together with an Aquitar chick.
Oh,
which I actually always kind of liked. But
yeah.
And I forget, he doesn't get with one of the Rangers, does he? Is it a different Aquitar chick? I can't even remember now.
I don't know, but if he ever comes back, he should come back in like a diving suit, like. Kind of like when
that would be awesome
in Aquaman when she shows up, when his mom shows back up and she's got all this cool like stuff. That's what he should look like when he comes back.
That would be really neat, and she should be like, "I'm so excited, and I have to wear a helmet all the time."
Yeah.
No, now you know that he was supposed to come back in Dino Thunder, right? That whole thing.
Yeah, you told me about that. About the whole.
He was supposed to be Zeltrax. He was supposed to come back evil. And it would have been amazing. And it's really sad that didn't happen. That
would be like so meta in that because they didn't get along very well in the show. And he always messed with. That would be great if they were arch nemesis in the show.
Would have been nuts. He was supposed to be there and Kat was supposed to be there. And Kat was supposed to be in that show regularly because they were going to be married. And they've now canonicized that they're married, but sort of.
Yeah, we can never tell because sometimes they just mention it in like on social media and stuff. I don't even. You watch that episode. She doesn't show up at all, or there's no mention.
She's there.
She shows up, but yeah.
She's there, and we go to his house, and there's a kid there. So it's implied that they're married, but they don't get screen time together, and it's never talked about. I'm not sure if she lives there. I think they've canonicized it, but it's not really quite. It's a whole thing.
Weird.
Oh, it's about time.
Wow.
Finally, we're accepting the powers of the Zeo Crystal.
We've been rejecting it before. But...
So for the first time, we have double morphers.
Right. And that's why the morphing sequence is going to be so complicated, because they do this whole thing to then put it together. I love this morphing sequence. It's great.
Well, and this is the first time the morphers and the communicators are the same thing.
I'm sorry. Can I ask Zordon a question?
Absolutely.
The question for Zordon when I get to heaven. Zordon, what did we sacrifice exactly besides maybe Aisha? Kind of? But not really?
Wow.
He goes, all these what sacrifices did we make?
Those masks have little plastic mouths.
We got rid of our building, and then we rebuilt our building, and it looks exactly the same. And we got a cooler, larger setup. Also, if the power chamber was always there, why weren't we using it? It's bigger. It has more space.
So there was some leak problems. And, they had to wait until they could get the roaches.
There's a lot of
totally
piping.
Knocked out.
There's a lot of pipage in the background there. Maybe there was something going on with that.
You see what I mean? It's like color, shapes, and numbers. It's like it's preschool themed.
Well, it's aimed at the right age group, really.
It's so strange. But what is it?
So Tommy's red now, and somebody else is green.
Yes.
But Tommy wasn't green because he had gone to white.
The main reason Tommy has to be red is because we've only got 5 Rangers again, and unless you have a special 6 Ranger, red is usually the leader, and Tommy's still going to be our leader. So that's why he's red. And yes, even if he wasn't going to be the leader, he probably wouldn't be green because of that, but that's why he goes red. And so Rocky's blue now because arbitrarily he had to be a different color, and Billy is no longer a Ranger. And those are the colors we have because that's what the Sentai did.
Around.
Yeah, and different Sentais have different sets of colors, as we've already seen if you're paying attention because of the Alien Rangers.
Yeah,
and also the ninja suits too. But
it's the first time we got a green instead of a black, which will happen all the way throughout the rest of the series.
That's true. Mm-hmm. We do have green quite a bit.
This was fitting that all new stuff that would happen a lot later happened in Zeo. Like it's the first time we're breaking away from the formula and all this stuff.
Here it comes.
Wow, you got to get it right in there.
But when so that was a little bit less complicated because they're already in their suits. In fact, I don't even know what the point of connecting it up was because they're already wearing the suits, right? Like that should have just been a back to action moment. But
they do the helmet thing.
Yes, but when they do it,
blink, nod.
So it's crossed and then it's down.
Yes.
We're gonna have to learn all these.
Yeah, it's my favorite one. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I guess I'm alone in loving these suits as much as I do because you don't care for the Egyptian aesthetic.
Yeah, I was worried it was going to come to that. I'm not a huge fan. It's not the Egyptian part. I think the helmets are just too simple for me.
I love the simplicity of it. That's what I like about it.
I mentioned that the Alien Ranger helmets I love because they're so simple, but these are just not. They don't look like a helmet. They just look like a shape in a circle to me. Like
that's what I like about them, man. I don't know. They always just looked kind of weird and again vaguely mysterious. I don't know how else to put it.
I appreciate that they're not just a shape in a circle. Like if you look in, there's like some detail above the eyebrow, like this like shapes and stuff. So they're going with the whole geometry theme.
I like this. Thomas Edge. They write that in the subtitles a lot. Thomas Edgehill says, "Holy C-3PO." Yeah, they do look a little bit like C-3PO.
That's true.
But yeah, I love the cogs. I forgot there were different colors of cogs. Remember that?
Yeah. I like that. There's. I mean, I like to assume that they're different ranks, but I don't think we ever do anything with that. It's
like maybe different strengths or something. But yeah, we don't do anything with it.
That we had that never.
One has the power of water, and the other one has the power of fire
and heart. And by their powers combined, they get evil Captain Planet.
Hey, so
Captain Pollution.
There's even like a different color. It's like a shiny one.
Yeah. Jason fought a cog in when we were at Power MorphCon. We've got footage of that on YouTube. It's great.
Wow.
That's weird, and we don't do it very often. The whole weird shapes in the background when we pause, and that's like the stupid remaster thing with Mighty Morphin.
Well, that's the Sentai. I think the Sentai does a lot of stuff like that.
Sucked into a flying gear portal in the sky.
But did you see?
It's like they're just trying really hard to make it look like a comic book. Sorry.
Yeah, we always complain about when they do animated effects on top of this stuff, but the Cogs ones actually looks cool. Did you notice?
I like it.
How they get like machine parts and stuff?
Yes, it's great.
It's pretty cool.
No, I like them. It's weird that I like the henchmen more than I like the villains.
Oh, he's got 4 eyes.
I mean, those aren't really eyes. I guess they're just flashlights.
Have you seen Time Force?
I've seen a little bit of Time Force.
You know the little owl Archimedes? He looks like he should be part of the Machine Empire. Little
he
robot
does.
owl. I wonder if they probably don't mention that at all, but he's from the future, so I guess it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, they obviously just ripped him out of that Harryhausen movie, right?
Sailors.
Here we are back at Ernie's Juice Bar. Haven't been here in a while.
Which has also changed some, or is this just the outside thing that they built?
Yeah, I think we got this in season 3 a little bit.
That's right. Why is that? So there's no explanation as to why Ninja can't come and help anymore, except that we're not using ninja powers, so we're done with that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we can't hang out with. It's like you don't associate with a kid at school once he's not in the same sport as you.
Yeah, and when he said now that Ninja is back in the temple, where was he? Was he just hanging out in the command center somewhere? We never saw him.
He was down in the catacombs. He was lost in the catacombs.
I was underground.
Weird. Yeah, better than ever, except Billy, you don't get to be a Power Ranger anymore. But, other than that...
Yeah, he seems okay with it.
I'm also not sure... Well, yeah, that's because there's no interpersonal conflict in the show. We can't have that.
He just resents the rest of the Rangers the whole time, and he's just, like, plotting against them.
So explain to me why, if... I mean, I know the real reason. It's lack of footage, but... How come if the Alien Rangers could use the Shogun Zords, they can't use the Shogun Zords? Like, they had that stupid throwaway explanation as to why they can't use the Ninja Zords anymore. Now that Ninja is in the temple, okay, whatever. But what about Shogun? I don't think they ever bring it back.
It's not Egyptian, Cap. It doesn't fit the theme.
No. Okay, and it's not about math.
Ninjas can't do math.
Yeah.
Ancient Egyptian ninjas.
That would be cool.
Jeff, do you have any opinion on the aesthetic of the show, or have you not been inoculated to Power Rangers enough to develop opinions about such things?
I remain really pretty kind of strict about any monster that's supposed to be feminine.
Okay.
I don't know if I can put my finger on it, and maybe it would be better if I didn't.
What does that have to do with the episodes we just watched, though?
And these, it's the Queen
Machina?
Queen Ratchet.
Uh-huh.
Oh. It makes me feel like there's something deeper in the way that they're trying to characterize revulsion.
I mean, it's just Japan, right? Like,
well, yeah.
I mean, that's not us making that.
It's like, what visually creates the right sense of repulsion for a Japanese audience?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm still chewing on that. The putties.
This show will do it to you.
Remind me of some monsters I saw on Doctor Who once.
Oh yeah, sure.
So this is getting to a point where I'm waiting for Tom Baker to step out of a police call box any moment.
Yeah, that's fair.
Except I think the special effects were in general better.
In Doctor Who, I'm not going to agree with that. I'm not going to begin to agree with that. There's a word for that. That's hyperbolic.
Elliptical, maybe.
Yeah. Math jokes. I love them. Well, thanks a lot for watching, folks. We sure appreciate it. Tune in tomorrow when we tackle episodes 3 and 4. It's The Shooting Star and Target Rangers. That's a great episode title. We're just not good at episode titles. They didn't even go with a colon. It's not Target, guys. It's just Target Rangers. Target Rangers.
Target? Yeah.
Target from Invasion.
My Morphin Target Rangers.
they have like a pet dog with a red birthmark on the side.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like Human Target, they just keep making shows for some reason. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, folks. We sure appreciate it. See you again tomorrow. I was Captain Logan. There's the Jeff. And DJ.
I can't top that, so see ya.
Bye.